Oh no. Just on stream. What? No, I'm just not trying to immediately fucking throw you into the cold of it. What do you mean not again? What the fuck? That's hella gaslighting. Fucking gaslighting the past. You know what? I just realized my microphone was unmuted on stream and I was talking to you guys, so I like if anyone was actually watching the stream right now, they would have only heard half of the conversation. And it would have been like yeah, just actually out of context.
Could you imagine like out of context? And I am going to make sure that motherfucker isn't alive.
Oh God.
Could you imagine having that? That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be horrifying. Imagine like you've been going for a couple years. You have your audience. You're just like everything's going well, and suddenly someone just fucking prompts you with that. Just
Yep.
like,
and then everything shuts down.
Yep.
Yep.
Hello, welcome to Twitch.
Welcome to cancel
Twitch
culture.
has banned people for less.
Hey,
Twitch truly has banned people for less.
Yes, they did.
There are some people that Twitch should ban.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But let's not get into that, you know.
Can I have the sweet release?
No, you can't have a cookie.
What? No.
Alright, do you want me to shoot you or do you want me to stab you?
Yes.
Yes.
Either or is fine, honestly. Okay, tad bit more. There we go.
Can I have them in a specific order?
Oh, jeez. I would like to be stabbed and shot.
Just hearing that out of context is like, can I have them in a specific order, please?
You're just like, what, muffins?
I would first like to be stabbed 47 times but still alive before you pop a bullet in my head.
Oh, so you want the Julius Caesar?
How about this? I'll stab you 48 times and miss every vital organ, and then shoot you in the knees before having to kill you by waterboarding you with boiling water.
No.
Yes.
Well, someone's enjoying it.
I think that was a yes.
Is that the worst you can do to me?
Wow.
That's the worst.
Who set the world on fire?
Now the question is, would it be better, like, more or less painful if the knife was coated in acid?
I'm pretty sure it'd probably be less painful because technically, I don't know, because technically then you're numbing the pain as well. Because
I'm not talking.
At your nerves.
Oh yeah, okay. I was about to say I'm not talking about the drug here. Although it would be kind of funny to stab someone and give them an acid trip like that.
Can I be given an acid trip before I die too?
Just to make it extra weird.
I wanna have big titty goth girls in my dream.
Of course you do.
I am just going to.
You.
There was a meme like that. I was doing a D&D session. People were like, "Your greatest fear appears before you." One of my players just immediately piped up and said, "Oh no, big titty goth GF! Ah, oh no!"
God fucking damn it!
All of you. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Social
fear.
interaction.
That's literally what game is going to like play next. I bet.
What?
Nothing.
What am I gonna play
Calling you
next?
out.
You know what? All this talk.
Just calling you
Yeah.
out.
All this talk is reminding me of one specific thing, and so I'm going to just put. I sent a ping to Grape in no mic. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Well, let me just take 5 minutes to find the no mic channel.
28 stab wounds.
This is how I wish to die.
Oh.
Oh my god.
This is why we don't let players off the leash.
Sick!
Oh my
So
god, I hope I
here's-
just saw it.
here's the
And
thing,
yes,
Here's
yes.
the thing, game, is when you said that, Clyde had
Yes.
posted that picture,
I
and I looked over and you said that as I just saw the picture, and I'm like, oh no.
Okay, but that's just a big titty girl. That ain't a big titty goth girl.
But no.
she technically is not only that, but she's a mom as well.
But
Damn, she be looking like a Pixar mom.
Oh my god. Jesus
God,
fuck.
I don't want to know.
This is going
I
downhill
don't wanna
fast.
know. I don't want to know. Why did I look?
It's called morbid curiosity, my friend. Morbid curiosity.
Oh my god, Hoopy!
The man's dying so hard he had to wheeze.
Dude, turn into a goose!
Hoopy, what unholy
People are
creature are
animals.
you becoming?
Oh my god, I think this is the strongest start we've ever had.
Alright, let's rein it in. Rein it in. Rein it in.
I'm crying.
Understandably so. Have a great day.
Stop dying. Hoovy, stop dying.
Hoopy, please proceed to die so I can collect your insurance money.
Oh no.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, everybody.
Anyone
Where
watching
we're
is gonna
all
have, like, a-
childish and have nothing to do with anything adventure related.
Well, the campaign is great, and the jokes are just horrible.
God awful.
I was gonna make a joke, and then I can't because I completely lost it from laughing.
Good.
Well, you're here, so we don't need a joke.
Well, okay, I'll see my way out here. Oh, that hurt.
Get
That hurt
yourself
my
some
soul.
water.
That
He
hurt my
needs some
soul.
milk.
He needs some
Oh,
milk.
is that what the big titty goth girl is for then?
No!
Oh my god, dude.
We are on Twitch right now. Let's try and not get him
Hey,
banned.
talking about it
What
is
did
fine.
I-
Showing it is bad.
Don't
I
worry
found
about it.
out.
Don't
I
worry about it.
But in this case, talking about it is
I-
bad.
Oh, I
Why
hate
do
myself.
I have a feeling anyone joining the Twitch right now is gonna be like, what the fuck
I
is
hate-
happening?
I hate that I made that joke. I hate that I made like that.
Don't worry, we hate you too.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's not my fault, nor is it any other fault of anybody else that any dark elf you run into is dressed like a fucking MILF. Anyway.
Well, I'm sorry, every dark elf you run into is a MILF, except for a select few.
Alright, let's see if this works now.
Well, actually, technically, no.
thank
A drow would technically be still a. Would that be a delf?
Yes.
To be a delf, it wouldn't be a dilf. It'd be a delf.
Gilf.
Because it'd be DE drow elf. It'd be DEILF. Yeah, DEILF.
Or you could just make
I
it a
hate it.
DELF. DEELF. Drow elf, everyone wants to
Yep.
fuck.
Okay. Yep.
Oh,
I'm
let's
good
fuck.
with that. That works too.
I
Props.
hate everything.
Oh, believe you me too.
It's just me or like drow elves just very fuckable right now.
All right. Too far. You get the banhammer.
No!
Your banhammer.
No!
Be gone, thought.
All right, reining it back in. We're gonna go ahead and get ourselves a little bit up with our beautiful sponsors, which are absolutely nobody. So welcome here for anybody else who's joining the stream. Other than that, we also have a bit of roll call to go through.
I'm going to vomit.
Good for you. We have
Let me get the bucket.
today missing. I believe we're going to be missing our intrepid bagpipes, so we're going to have to NPC them.
Oh no,
Other than that,
not our
oh
NPC
no.
bagpipes.
Yeah, oh no.
Oh no.
We have starting from
Anyways,
yeah. Starting from the top, we have our French horn.
Hello.
We have the hungry dragonborn.
Hi.
Way of the drunken fist.
Good evening.
We have the glow stick minion.
please, like, end my suffering.
We have oh captain, my captain.
Rar.
Not
then we
my
have
captain.
Then we have the definitely not furry.
He's not gonna respond.
He messaged me. He's due to storms coming in, his internet's starting to tank, so he's still gonna be here. He can listen, just he won't be able to talk.
Oh, good. At least that. Also, I would like to
So pay
apologize
attention
for
to no
Poppy.
mics then.
Poor
Hey,
dude's
it's
just
family matters.
yeah,
Don't need to worry about
family
it.
matters.
It's family stuff.
So just kind of pay attention to no mic if you need to.
Yep. All right. So, I would say, for the sake of this, if everybody is ready and we are check all around, we'll go ahead and get into tonight's session of Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody good to go? Everybody good? Dice, character sheets, everything? Yep.
See,
Yep.
Papa.
All right. Let's step into it. As our intrepid adventuring party last left off, after almost suffering the destruction of the city they were residing in, being the port city of Ivy, after having it nearly crumble down around them, and barely surviving it after residing within the higher functions of the city, at least in the seeming fortresses labeled to each arm of this bowl the city was built into to function as its port. After attempting to escape and failing, after being called back by the Lord of the city, Lord Brokenridge, we currently pick up after holding a meeting with the party and discussing that the city is supposedly protected by another order of clerics, supposedly of the clerical order of High-Rose, and the Clayrose. Two different orders. The first one pretty much a secondary order of the first, or the latter. Now, as we go ahead and pick up with our party, after just leaving the gates and still trekking out for about a day and a half, over the course of the night, over the watch, we have Zoram and we also have Niram. Both who had taken separate watches watched over the what would have been your southeast and south to what looked like almost a large campfires set up along a ridgeline that seemed to have been burning. No hesitancy was taken, and no real urge, as the far-off lights across the distant plain would have taken roughly about another day and a half to meet. But we pick up there, as our party is currently waking up from their long rest. All hit points are returned, spell slots as well. All hit dice and exhaustion are removed. But we go ahead and pick up there. It is now the morning. You all may mark off the ration for your daily ration need. And then we will go ahead and step off. Or we can be silent, that works too.
Yes. This works.
Sorry, I was just marking off a few things here.
Yeah, same here. Just some management.
No, I like nagging on you guys.
I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm having a really hard time completely remembering last session.
Well, you weren't here last session, I don't think.
Oh, was I not?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
I think you were doing something.
Oh, I was camping.
Yeah. So.
No wonder you didn't remember anything. Now it all
so
makes
no one
sense.
don't remember anything.
Yeah, the
last
the
session
last
you
thing-
were always too wasted.
Yeah, the last thing I remember was giant thing on dock
let me-
and the end.
The giant metal man.
Yeah, Valis flying and meeting people.
There we
It's
go.
like, oh, I remember. Ooh, would you look at that?
So essentially, we're on the road after taking a jump.
Yep. Oh, jeez.
We're not on the boat anymore. We're going. We're doing a thing. We're doing a mission.
When did we leave?
We left at the end of last session, basically.
I kinda remember. Okay.
I think you joined in for the last few minutes or something.
No.
No, not even. Oh.
No, I was like.
Yeah, you were
gone.
completely
I
cut off,
was
but like
more than 100 miles away from my computer
fair
and
enough.
reasonable internet.
I was so out of it at that point.
I think everybody except me were like, "Oh God, it's D&D. We need to be there, or else the DM will feel bad."
That's not it. I was literally like fighting with
literally
fucking
not the
migraine.
case.
We love you, Grape. Don't you
No,
sell yourself
there
short.
is no love for an animal such as myself. I shall be
See,
pitiful.
What are you
Grape-
on about?
There's always love for you, Grape.
Grape has a humiliation complex.
Gabe, you shut your whore mouth.
Wow, that's a fucking 180.
Spicy. It's a spicy meatball.
You have lost speaking privileges.
We did.
Oh,
Game?
no.
Alright, fine, I'll unmute her.
We just come back
Anyways,
crying. Jesus.
Carrying on.
Carrying on.
Zoram, Niram, you are still freshly remembering that there's still lights that seem to have been roughly within possible traveling distance if you guys pick up your pace. However, at the moment, you're not entirely sure what those fires were, but you do know that they roughly had to be maybe 10 to 11 feet tall if you could see them that clearly across the plain.
Just to make sure, they were in the like southeast, eastern to south direction.
They were here. You guys are essentially up in this direction. You're to the north, and the fires were about here. They were like there.
Okay, so they would have been in the direction of travel anyway.
Yeah, so you guys are currently heading from Port Ivy down to Clayrose. The destination itself isn't very far away. It's maybe about 2.5 days. But that's if you're traveling really slow. So it should only take you roughly about 2 to a day and a half.
Okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought Port Ivy was the entire island.
Port.
Oh. Port Ivy is a very large city. Yeah, it encompasses what? The same size as Tokyo plus an additional 3 square miles. It's a fucking huge city.
That's pretty large.
And it's the reason it's fucking huge. It's because it's one of the main cities. It's one of the oldest ones on the pretty much of the Kamyar. The oldest cities here, we'll go through a quick lore lesson. The oldest cities are Port Ivy, Feldrake, Lingmel, and Rivermouth. The old capital used to be White Ridge, and then that pretty much fell apart after a couple of aspects that you guys don't know about happened.
Okay.
I think I returned.
Yeah, so by all means. But some of the newer cities are Holbeck, the Lanner Coast, and Alnwick are pretty much up and rising cities that are attempting to gain favor, but they, again, this being mostly, it's almost think of it as the Holy Roman Empire. There are a bunch of minor princes that are always fighting and bickering over territory.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That is
Yeah,
why
that's
Port Ivy is one of the more powerful cities, because it is so fucking large.
Yep.
It has all of that power that it has and wields. But nonetheless, we'll pick up there as you guys are currently still traveling for the day. Those of you who want to helm the expedition as you're heading on, just keeping an eye out, making sure the party isn't ambushed on the plane, go ahead and make me a perception check if you wish. The rest of you, you can go ahead and do as you wish. If you want to ask anything, go ahead and do it.
I'm
I
gonna
got a +7, so you
yeah, I
know.
was gonna assist with the perception.
Okay.
A 15.
+7, I got a 15.
And it's 8 + 7.
I mean, hey,
and
it's.
then,
Sorry.
nope, I'm sorry. Zoram, yourself? Or are you just assisting?
Oh, I was assisting, so I
Okay,
thought.
so Raik, you can go ahead and roll at advantage.
Oh, okay.
The reason I didn't have her rolled again was because I didn't know if you were assisting or if you were like
It's still
rolling.
a 15.
I apologize.
Oh,
Good
Oh,
lord.
wow.
Good
I
lord.
rolled lower.
Jeez.
Game.
I mean, hey, at least
okay.
it's not as bad as my. In another campaign, I play a wizard. They have a +10 to investigation. I managed to
rolled
roll
an
a
11.
12. The
It
worst
seems whenever
outcome
the
without rolling
the
an
higher
at
the
one.
modifier, the lower you roll.
Right?
All right, one second.
And then you rolled really high when you don't want to.
Ryoka, what you see as you're traveling down to the southern road, you see what would be off to your east, which would be in this direction. I'm just gonna put a box right there. To the east of you, as you're looking in that direction, you look into the sky, and you see roughly maybe about a mile in length in the sky. Looks to be just a large, almost opening in the clouds, and the sky between these clouds that seem to form a ring around it, almost like a pond, seems to be almost like a murky clear blue, much like that aspect of some sort of a lake or something that's forming in the sky. And it's kind of hard to keep your eyes off of it just from how weird it is to see. Um, it's difficult to tell if you were just giving it a passing glance. You would just see the clouds and say, oh, it's clouds off in the distance. But it essentially looks like there is some sort of like ocean or lake forming in the sky, and it's definitely weird.
Interesting. Ryoka's just gonna assume that she's mildly drunk.
I mean, that's your status quo, isn't it?
It is, yes. But Zoram, you would notice this as well as you were assisting her, just keeping an eye out on her back and just making sure things aren't going unnoticed. You would notice this as well.
Just gonna keep an eye on it.
Okay. Uh, over the course of the about half day as you are traveling still down the road further, it's getting noticeably bigger. What was once maybe about a mile across from this distance looks to be maybe about 2.5 to 3 now. It's getting larger, and then eventually, as the sun reaches just about 1 o'clock, you see as it stops, and it doesn't seem to be growing any further. So roughly in about this area, I'm just going to mark it with a quick circle. This area about here looks to be maybe about 3 days travel off road. Uh, it looks to be that kind of lake that's forming in the sky. As you see from this distance, the sky itself, the blue, seems to be almost rippling out as if it's breathing or creating waves, as it's currently pushing out, and then you'll see it recede back in, and the clouds form it almost as if a sandbar or even some sort of just the shore amongst a lake.
Is anyone else seeing this?
Oddly captivating.
Zorn's gonna point this out and kind of go, is anyone else seeing this?
Yes. I thought I was just drunk.
Well, that's kind of expected with you.
Um, If Narum looks in the direction pointed out by Zoram, does he also see that forming?
Yeah,
Skyline.
everybody. It is noticeable and viewable by all.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it too. What even is that?
Is it on our course or?
No, it is far off your course.
Okay. No, it was also kind of.
Now
You would roughly have to take 3 days to walk out there off road and then come back. It might be a shorter trip if you go down all the way south to Holbeck and then north, but even then you're still traveling off road.
I think the second option might be a good idea.
Oh, Grape, I have another question that is a bit off topic.
Yes.
Whatever happened to the marks that Vientus and Valus?
Those never disappeared.
Those never
disappeared.
disappeared.
Those are still there.
Okay.
The reason I haven't brought them up is because you haven't asked about them. They're still there. You look,
Alright.
and they're still very prevalent.
Okay, so those aren't gone. Good to know. But they haven't changed or anything, have they?
No, they're not changing color. They're not changing texture. They have remained the same as if someone had just painted some sort of tattoo to your hand.
Okay. Good to know.
Now, over the course of the next, as it's getting later and later into the day, and the sun starts to set over the far distance of the coast and hills, you are starting to see the piles of these fires that were once lit the previous night. As you're getting closer to them, Ryok, I'll have you go ahead and make me another perception check. And I will go ahead and say, Zoram, you can either assist her or add your make your own check.
I got a 19.
I guess I'll just do my own.
Okay.
That's a 25.
Show off. All right.
Excuse me.
Off in the distance, those these piles that you see that are kind of cascaded around, you see about 6 of them. Each of them almost reminisce in your mind about like a funeral pyre or something like that. Just the way they're stacked and the way they've still maintained their structure through being burned, they look like some sort of funeral pyre.
I don't know how to react to that.
Continuing through, just as you're reaching roughly about your stopping point, so that would be about 8:30, 8:45. So the sun is pretty much set because you guys are in late fall, or this would be late spring. Actually, no. You just went through the harvest, so that would be. Ooh, yeah, you're coming up on fall.
Winter?
So yeah,
Oh.
now you're coming up on fall. So you guys just got out of the summer season and you landed pretty much just as summer was ending and coming into the fall season. So yeah, crops are switching over, so things aren't being grown as quickly. But yeah, at the moment the sun is pretty much almost set at this point. And you notice that these blocks that you had seen previously, these are definitely funeral pyres, but not for a single person. The stacks themselves look to be made out of about 12 people each. It seems whatever wood was comprised of this fire has already long since burned away over the course of how it was used. But the bodies that are comprised of these are dressed in what looks to be heavy armor, some sort of either plate or scale mail. The armor itself looks to be burned and completely almost asunder from how much just damage it's been put through over the course of the fire and being burned. It might be salvageable, you're not sure, but this is just you looking over, and it's maybe about a mile away from you, but due to the flat plains you're on, you can see these kind of clearly. What do you guys want to do?
Am I able to take a little closer look at the armor?
Yes, you are.
Cause I'm kind of curious on seeing if this is like caused by magical burns, or if this is like they were just lit on fire.
So heading over, I'll say go ahead and make me an investigation check. This will be difficult just due to the nature of like the pyre, but you having an innate sense of magic should be pretty easy, even though it'll be difficult.
That's 25, 17 plus 8.
Looking at these bodies that are stacked through, you see the armor, and most of it is human made. Most. Some of it looks to be almost. You're not sure if it's draconic or if it seems to be some sort of just a different cultural armor, but it doesn't look to be human made. And you notice that most of the armor does not appear to be magically burned. It looks to have been broken open by some sort of heavy blade. Or multiple heavy blades. Uh, one of the bodies that as you're looking through, do you want to try and like move some of the corpses off so you can get a better look, or are you just looking as they're stacked?
Like they'll move if something catches. They'll move the body if something catches their eye, but like they won't like.
On on a 25, you would probably recognize it. All of these bodies still have what seems to be their valuables to them. The rings that are still there, gold pouches that have since been burned apart, and you see that almost a melted gold seems to be strewn about and kind of melted into these piles. It seems whatever killed these things didn't care for the valuables, nor did it seem to care for anything that was on these bodies. And you see most of the armor as well, kind of towards the lower end, almost looks to be peeled open, as if something either very big or very strong just peeled it open, either with a blade or with its bare hands.
Fun.
Well, this is a not a pleasant sight at all. So from what I'm assuming, there's nothing that is really salvageable here.
Not from the armor, no, but you might be able to find a couple of rings and a couple of pieces of gold that might have scattered through into the grass. But would you want to look for that, or are you just gonna leave it alone?
They're probably just gonna leave it alone.
Okay. Heading back to the group, do you notify them of what you found?
Yeah.
All right.
So he just kind of gives them like just a rundown of what he's found and kind of the state of everything.
Ryoka's kind of just seem confused. She seems like she's been lost for the last few hours.
You have too much to drink.
Right now, I don't know where I am.
That's kind of what's going on, because I wasn't here last session, so Ryoka's as confused as I am.
I don't think being confused has anything to do with knowing that a pile of corpses that have been peeled open by something
Yeah,
very
but she
strong.
doesn't. She doesn't know why she's here. She
What?
forgot.
You were there when Lord Broken Ridge told us that we
Uh,
had to go to Clayrose, right?
Yeah. And you
Maybe.
remember you were being
I was
told,
drunk.
but you also remember you were told that he would pay you a pretty hefty sum to find out why they haven't kept up their side of the bargain and come to protect the city when they needed them.
Oh.
So none of these armors had the clay runes on them, right? Any
You have no
sigils
idea.
on them.
It was
Okay.
burnt beyond any kind of real recognition.
Okay.
So, in essence, these people were assaulted by something horrifically strong, burned beyond recognition, and we have no clue if these are the people that we seek.
They might be.
Well, I guess we just have to continue then. Only way to find out, really.
As you set up camp for the night, who will be on watch?
I guess Ryoko will be.
I'll be first to watch. If I can even.
Nerman's also
Nah, I
going to
called
take a shift
dibs.
again.
I called dibs on first watch.
Second watch?
I suppose Nerman will take the second.
I'll do second.
Oh,
So Niram and Clyde will take the second watch.
Okay.
Ryoka, you'll take the first one by yourself.
Guess Zorm will take third.
Well, that sums up all the watches. So, first watch, please go ahead and make me your roll.
9, 16.
Over the course of the night, you hear clanging off in the distance, like pieces of metal falling over, or at least falling onto another piece of metal, and you hear it clang off, and it carries across the plains. You are currently residing on top of a ridge line that seems to have been naturally formed as almost like two plates have started meeting together, and almost like it's starting to form. And mountain ridge is going to take another few thousand years to form. But as you're currently on this ridge line, just hearing the clangs of metal that are seeming to meet each other, and then faint off into the distance. Then roughly about another hour or so later, you hear more clangs as something is pushed over or even knocked over, I think. Or at least you think.
Ryoka's gonna look at her group and then get up to move closer to see if she can see whatever's making the noise.
Make me an investigation check.
Let me get my die.
Get your weighted dice.
I wasn't in my room. I was freaking going to make some ice cream.
Hope you have enough to share for the class.
Thank you for beating me to it.
Where's my mouse?
Where's
There
our
it is.
ice cream?
I only have a +1. This isn't gonna be great. Actually, no, it's a 15.
15. All right. You see, as you're getting closer to where this clanging is coming from, you see what looks to be a soul humanoid-like figure. Since you don't have dark vision, it's pitch black out here. It would be a new moon, so you can't see shit but by starlight. You see what looks to be a humanoid figure that is currently taking bodies off of this pile and starting to drag them downhill.
I'm assuming out of sight as well.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you only have roughly about 30 feet of bad vision, and then roughly up until about 5 feet, you can't really see anything. You're just going off of shadows that you're looking at.
Ryoka's gonna wake up the only person, or one of the only people she knows has dark vision, and that's gonna be Zoram.
Zoram doesn't have dark vision.
You go over, you
Dragonborns
start.
don't have dark vision?
You go
No.
over, you
Dragonborns
shake up.
don't have-
You go over, and you shake Zorm awake, and you're like, "Hey, I know you have dark vision, so I need you here." Or it's like, "I know you can see in the dark." And he goes, "What? I don't see in the dark." As he just rolls over and looks at you, kind of stupefied.
I thought you could.
Dragonborns don't have dark vision, bruh.
They're like one out of
Wait.
what, 4 races that actually don't have
We've-
dark vision?
We've specified this so many times.
What do you think
that-
when Nerem always lights a torch?
Yeah, Zoram always has his glow stick because he can't see in the dark.
Watch her say like, "Oh hey, I just like I thought you were doing it for aesthetic of like dungeon delving."
It's pretty much it.
Oh, that just hurt. That just hurt. Knowing that.
Ryoka's gonna
How
be like,
many of
"Oh,"
us can actually see in the dark?
like one of us, I guess.
Wait, I
I
think.
can see in the dark.
Yeah, I was about to say Valus,
Sorry.
Clyde,
don't-
Iris. Oh, can I?
Wait, Clyde can see in the dark?
And Poppy.
Can you? Yeah, I was about to
Oh,
say.
Clyde's human. No, Clyde's human.
No.
Clyde's
Oh,
human.
Clyde's human?
No, Clyde
Then
isn't
no,
human,
then they
he's a
can't.
half-elf.
Oh,
Clyde's
yeah,
half
you can
elf.
see in the
Yeah, as a half elf.
Iris
Yes.
is
So
half
out of-
elf.
I am half elf.
You have a lot of half elves.
So you're telling me, out of all the people Ryoka
You go
picked,
and wake up
Take-
the one guy who passed.
That's
One of the-
amazing.
one of the-
Literally.
One of the two other people who can't see in the dark.
Who are both of the same race.
oh yeah. I'm almost tempted to have Vala just be awake to just witness this shit. I am half
Just because a dragon can see in the dark doesn't mean a dragonborn can see in the dark.
I mean, heck,
Makes sense.
Valus is in a trance, isn't he?
Oh, he's not. He's been away.
Oh,
He's
Oh, right.
yes.
Yeah,
he only needs around 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it
what I
hasn't
was
been 4
asking.
hours.
Yeah.
It's only been like 2.5 to 3 hours.
I thought you were gonna say minutes. I was about to laugh.
2 minutes, everyone goes to sleep. Ryoka immediately. I need you. I need you right now.
Go to one of the half elves.
But I don't
He
like the
rolls.
half elf.
Well, half elves actually can see in the dark. I can't.
She goes over to like.
Zorb, as
nearest
you
half elf.
try and roll back over to sleep. You can go over. Say the closest half elf to you would be Iris.
Iris.
Iris, as you were just about to finish your trance for another hour, you suddenly feel like a finger just kind of like poking you in the forehead, and you're like,
Oh my god.
and you open your eyes and you see your crewman Ryoka currently poking you.
Can I help you?
This fucking drunkard is
You
going to be
can
thrown into the
see-
water.
You can see better than me. Can you like see what the hell that thing is dragging bodies away?
What? She kind of jumps up out of out of her roll and she's like,
Wait, what? Bodies? Loot?
What? Hello? What?
Excuse me.
No need to
I
what?
mean, we're all technically
And-
pirates, so
and she's
Mocha S?
In name
she
only.
starts looking.
So suddenly, as you say, "Can you see where the bodies are being dragged to?" And Iris feels like, "What?" And pops up. Iris, I'll have you go ahead and make me a perception check with advantage.
Perception is
As, wisdom,
in wisdom.
as Ryoka is currently trying to assist you into finding out what's going on here.
Excuse me, pardon.
oh god,
Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît.
Unnatural 20.
that fucking made me tear up.
So-
Means you upgrade.
Heading over as you're looking about, you see a very roughly hewn humanoid figure, and as you're getting closer and they actually get into your dark vision range, You start seeing the outline of what looks to be some sort of a almost looks to be some sort of a holy man or something like that. The robes that they wear seem to almost denote that of some sort of a cleric or even some sort of a devout follower of one of the pantheons.
Mm-hmm.
Looking over them, they look frail. They look weak, but they currently see as they're pretty much struggling to drag over these bodies. As you see, every once in a while, they'll topple one over from the pile and then do their best to drag the body down the hill across the other side of the ridge.
I'll relay this information to Ryoka.
I knew that much.
Well,
Not the clergyman part.
Oh yeah.
If you knew that much, why'd you waking me up?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, like, what if it tries to drag us away? While we're sleeping.
Do you want to go see what's going on? Like, closer?
If I can punch it, yeah.
If
You know,
you can punch it.
at this point, I'm wondering if what Ryoka has been imbibing wasn't alcohol, but instead just like a shit ton of weed. Just constantly high.
Smoke weed every day.
I wouldn't doubt it, but
All right. So, as this is discovered, and Iris, you just kind of look over, exasperated, towards Ryoka, and you're like, "Really? You woke me up for this?"
she just nods.
Freaking Ryoka. I picture Ryoka right now, like nodding with this childish, like, grin on their face, like, yeah, I did this.
Yeah, pretty much.
A childish, shit-eating grin.
Yes.
But she's also concerned because there's a thing dragging bodies away. So
Lenora sigh, or not Lenora. Sorry, I was reading something real quick. Iris sighs.
And so the truth unfolds.
Shush.
Beth is never really paying attention to D&D. I understand. I'm sorry. I'm forgetful, Beth.
Ryoko looks at you and is just like, well, lead the way. You can see.
She's actually. Who's the closest to them right now? Because I want to make sure that we have at least
Closest
one more
to them,
person.
I would say, for the sake of the argument, would be Niram, who is currently snoring loudly.
I'm gonna get a stick and I'm gonna poke him.
Huh?
Niram,
We're
from
just
your
waking
sleep,
everyone up.
Yeah, Niram,
Why'd you
suddenly
do
you
that?
just you feel your side just kind of like poked. And
Come on, that was not nice. I know, like, it's far too early for my guard. What are you doing?
I want to make sure that we have one more person just in case. Come on, let's go.
All right, we need a torch, or
Nah, I can see. Just follow me.
all right, and
We about to form a conga line.
freaking Narum just like hobbles behind you. Freaking great axe in tow, just grinding.
Trips on a helmet. Ah, fuck.
Oh Jesus!
And she
you
leads
travel
them.
through, and Ryoka bangs her toe against one of the helmets, and bang, fuck, very loudly.
Jesus Christ!
You know what? It's not even going to be a stealth check anymore. I'm just going to roll perception with advantage.
Game has that laugh that is like she repeats this one sound, and it's like it's funny because it comes out of nowhere.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you
So
do.
as Ryoka bangs her toe, goes, fuck! It just so happens to coincide with one of the bodies toppling over and clanging onto the ground. So it manages to mask most of the noise so that Ryoka isn't heard. Fucking really low perception.
Oh, fuck!
Gaff.
I'm telling
Alright.
you, game, you are the luckiest person alive. You got out of that situation by pure bullshit.
Alright.
I'm dying.
What are you guys doing as you're getting closer? Niram, are you at the front or back of this line?
Given that I was woken up just recently, he'd probably be at the back. Just like
Okay.
near enough to Iris where he can see her and just follow her. But definitely not completely there yet.
So, kind of staying about 5-6 feet away from her, and then Ryoka behind you.
I'm middle.
Okay, so you're both pretty much in like a triangle formation. So Niram is to your right, Iris is ahead of you, and Niram, Ryoka is to your left with Iris ahead of you.
Yeah.
And as you're following behind Iris, you're getting closer and you're within about 30 feet of this figure. And currently they are dragging one of the bodies, and they're currently... You see that from this there is definitely a large path that has just been scraped through the grass. And you see most of it looks to have been removed by these kind of bodies being pulled downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Looking over them, you see there's roughly about another 4 bodies left on this pile. And currently, another one's starting to be settled off and starting to drag them as this clergyman starts to pull them away.
I'll relay the information to Ryoka and Narum.
Yes, the person who has actual dark vision, you know.
Does he see you?
Oh,
No,
fuck up.
he does not see you.
So,
Ryoka,
what's the plan?
do we like just go back? Are they a threat? Like, what?
Then why'd you even wake me up? Could have managed on your own.
I just wanted to make sure just in case things went bad.
Alright.
You can go back if you want. God.
It's up to you two what we do.
I said we wait.
Alright, then let's head.
Confront him.
Let's head back then.
I just said we confront him.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I apologize, that's my bad.
That would have been weird, because then you would have woken Niram up and be like, yeah, let's just go back.
False alarm. We can go back.
So, Niram, just as you're starting to waken yourself again, it's like, let's go back to bed. You're like,
No,
damn it.
I misheard.
No, it's fine. It's just... that would have been incredibly funny.
So what are you guys doing?
I suppose we're walking
I say
up.
we hide behind the body pile that he's getting bodies from.
There isn't much of a pile left. It's like maybe 1.5 feet tall.
Do you want to suggest that so one of us lies down and once he tries to pick you up, you just fucking spook him?
We
I ain't dead yet. Just pop up and like, hey, I ain't dead yet.
I would. Don't give me ideas. Ryoka's just like, well, I mean, he doesn't seem hostile, so just stand here and ask him.
All right.
I didn't expect you to agree.
You guys are waiting for about another hour until you see our Iris. You see / hear this clergyman start making his way up. Um, from what you can see, he's definitely blind as a bat out here in the dark. He's more of feeling his way around, but the way he keeps his pace, he's definitely been doing what he's been doing
For a while.
for a while that it's ingrained.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch him walk. As he walks up, you see the face looks to have a unkempt beard, looks to have grown in within the past few days. The hair looks to have been once tied up into a knot, looks to have since fallen and just starts frayed out as it's no longer been taken care of. The front end of the cloth itself looks to be covered in dirt and grime, as the gray and black colors that you can see with your dark vision don't betray anything of any kind of denotion or devotion to a god. And as he is currently walking his way back up, you see he's definitely looking exhausted and tired, but he's just going through the motions now. Just the idea of a machine repeating its task without stopping is going to keep it going. What do you want to do?
I will once more relay this to the other two and be like, do you still think that we should engage him?
I mean, not attack him, but like ask him what the fuck he's doing.
All right.
He walks back up to the pile, and he's working on pulling another one off.
Sir.
Help. Hi.
Iris, you're the only one who really sees this clearly, but the rest of you see this kind of figure just jump slightly and drops the body. Hello? Who's out there?
We're right here.
You see him like start reaching into his robe for something.
We're not harmful.
Find it.
We can see you, but you can't see us. If we wanted to attack, we would have.
I can see your figures. Show yourselves.
Well, if you can see
how do you
us...
suggest we do that? Because we don't have a torch.
Narum has some torches with him.
Shut up!
She kind of tries to hush the two. She's like, you said that you could see our figures. That should be more than enough for you. Like I said before, if we wanted to attack you, we would have done so already.
We just want to know what you're doing.
See, he's currently, as he actually stops, you see the hand in his robes actually managed to find what he's looking for. And you see as he pulls out a with an unsteady hand, what looks to be a small twig.
Fuck, it's a 1.
It probably is. Knowing our luck.
His hand is shaking, but he's looking in your direction. And you hear him whisper something, and you see as a small end of light starts appearing on the end of this twig. And you actually see as this man starts to grow in light, as you see his form is now illuminated. And yours is eventually as well, as this light grows a little bit brighter, almost to that of some sort of a lamp. And he holds it out to you.
Ryoka waves.
You see before you roughly looks to be maybe late 50s. The hair itself looks to be a kind of almost a puppy brown with a graying ends, as you see it's starting to become that old physique. He looks to have at one time had a lot of strength to him, but it looks like it's since waned.
Via age.
Yes. You see his garbs that he wears, these robes, they are clerical robes, yes, but he doesn't seem to be a cleric himself. You see they look to be torn apart and just something he was able to find and put onto himself. And you see him with these bodies, and he's currently highlighting yourself, and he looks clearly exhausted. But you can see, like, even through his hand and his physique shaking, he's currently looking determined at you. His left hand is up, ready to, almost as if in another motion. Oh,
Just some people passing through. We saw you and we wanted to know what you were doing. That's it.
burying the dead. That's all you
okay.
need to know.
You're not like collecting them for use, are you?
And give you a weird look. And, no. These bodies were burned for a reason. I was the one who burned them.
What? Why?
He doesn't seem to hear you. As you can see, he's currently trying to stay awake and focused, as his eyes are currently blinking furiously.
Why did you burn them?
I needed to be burned. As you seem to have maintained his concentration for a second, you see the light fades out, and almost as if somebody flicking a switch, and you just see him collapse to the ground, completely
Did we just
unconscious.
leave him there?
You think he's gonna be all right?
Maybe we should bring him back to.
Taking a nap, or is he dead?
Maybe we should take him back to the others just to make sure he's, alive.
Ryoka's gonna wander over to pick him up.
Nerv's gonna assist you in carrying him.
Yeah, you go over and you start picking this guy up. He smells very strongly of sweat, grime, dirt, mud, and blood.
God, and I thought Niram smelled bad.
Throw him over your shoulder.
Almost smells like
actually
back home at
pretty
the farm.
light to carry. As you carry him back to the campsite, you can go ahead and set him up on one of the other places outside and just kind of lay him down. Very unceremoniously, you just kind of lay him to the ground. But over the course of this, it has thus ended your watch, Ryoka, and it would be Niram's, and it would also be Niram and Clyde's watch.
All right, since I'm already awake, let me just wake up Clyde.
Ryoka's gonna go lay down and pass out.
Yeah, almost with a kind of searing envy, you watch as Ryoka just kind of goes over, goes right into her laid out sack and just sleeps with it.
Actually, there's no need to wake up Clyde. I'll stay up with you. It's only fair I woke you up.
You just hear, yay!
All right. He just sits down next to if we do have one a campfire, and just keeps an eye out.
Okay, keeps an eye. Are you gonna check the old man out? Are you gonna try and see anything, or are you just gonna leave him alone?
No, see, Valis is being woken up for this, and he's being asked to check him out.
Iris, wake up others.
Iris wakes over.
Someone waking up. Oh,
yes.
Lord. You're a medic.
As this happens, Iris, you go over, you start shaking Valis. Valis,
No, I
yourself.
fought him with the stick as well. I never dropped it.
Just medicine man head.
Valis, you suddenly feel yourself being poked in the gut and then in the chest, and then as you kind of groan and refuse to be woken up, you have a stick kind of shoved into your nose, and you're like,
Wow.
How many? How quick can I just grab the stick to yank it out at the?
It's pretty easy to do. You just go and
No,
grab
my
it and
stick.
pull.
I would like to try and keep a hold on my stick.
I'll have you go ahead, make me an athletics check. Volus, go ahead and make me an athletics or acrobatics.
The War of the Stick.
The War of the Bucket.
I got it nat 20 plus 1.
Oh my god.
He's keeping that fucking stick.
What the
Nat 20
shit?
plus 1. Oh god, you're gonna hate me for this. Hold up.
Oh god.
Nat 20 plus 2.
No way.
Why did you do this to me?
Jesus Christ.
With the strength of force, as both of you grab onto this stick and pull backwards, you hear a very unsatisfying snap as the stick itself breaks in two. And both of you stand there with this, what was once a beautifully perfect, almost straight stick has now been bent and broken.
Now Mom just looks over and it's like, you two done? Or, you know.
I need you to wake up. I need your help to look at somebody.
And what do you
And
expect
that's-
me to do? Castrate them or something? I'm not a player.
Holy shit.
Went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Just gets the dagger out. Okay, let's get this over with.
I thought you had like lay on hands or something.
No, I'm a sorcerer, you.
I thought you, the person with obvious
Argument
magic
gets loud.
spells,
As
had
this argument
paladin
gets louder and
abilities.
louder. As this argument gets louder and louder, Ryoka, you found yourself unable to fall asleep. Clyde, you find yourself awoken by this argument. And Zoram, you once again kind of like, what the hell is going on here?
Can Ryoka just lazily throw a dart in their direction?
As you are all awakened rudely by this noise, you all suddenly hear this sound of like, "What do you want me to do? Castrate him?" And that is what you were awoken by.
I am not sorry for that.
Of course you're not.
Any rubble nearby?
No, you guys are in a grass field.
He's gonna throw grass.
He's gonna catapult
gonna
a
throw her
fucking...
dart in their general direction.
Roll to hit.
Oh god.
I swear to
Oh
God,
crap,
if you...
I left my dice outside!
Why would you take your dice outside? Wait, what?
Gabe was
in the-
getting some ice
in the
cream.
dining room. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant you actually took it to your backyard or porch.
Roll to hit, right?
Yep.
I'm just using a regular dart, so it's
What
only gonna
happens-
be a +7.
Wait a minute. What happens if I use catapult on Ryoka's dart? After
Oh,
it
my...
happens?
yeah, that shit's gonna hurt.
That's a dirty 20.
Alright, you're lucky. Even in your tired spot, you just throw the dart over, and Iris, as you're picking your stick up, you suddenly hear thunk. And you look over and you see as a dart has just implanted itself into your stick.
Did you just say my steak?
Yes.
My steak!
Steak!
Oh god, hold on. Wait, hold on. Where's my favorite meme involving a stick and a nunchuck?
What?
What?
Okay.
It's
Context
not
here.
that bad, it's not that bad.
Stick in a nunchuck!
Can someone
Alright.
please elaborate that?
Yes, please.
I have no
Give me
clue.
some context
It's
here,
now
please.
in memes. It's now in memes. It's
I'm
my
I'm
favorite
gonna be
thing of all
very
time.
disappointed.
Eat her steak!
Oh
Ladies
God.
and gentlemen of the stream, please hold together as we are currently finding ourselves out the memes that are. Being
I'm just
sent
gonna pull it up on fucking OBS. You know what? You can witness this as well. Fucking, it's Jesus. Where the fuck did it save it? There we go.
Isn't
Well,
that
hold on, you
guy,
might- no,
draw
you
with
might
Jazz's
not-
brother?
You might not want to say that because it does say the hard R. in
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay, never mind. Thank you for the warning. I'm going to look
Yeah,
at that
no,
after the
it's-
stream then. Until then, I'm living
Yeah.
without
Good idea.
context.
That'd be a good idea.
What did I just watch?
Just starts wheezing.
You watched my favorite meme of all time.
What did I just watch?
Let's get back on topic, please.
The topic is departed.
Game, are you okay? Game, are you okay?
Acting like a witch.
Holy shit, Game.
Holy shit.
Go off.
Game.
Holy crap.
Game.
You
I
cackle
guess
like a
you-
witch.
Okay.
Control yourself.
Like you ever do?
Holy shit.
Hey. Oh gosh. It's the sound. It's the sound of a sound of a motorcycle getting started.
God.
If you listen very closely, you can hear the motorcycle go off.
But you can tell why I love it so much, right?
Erectile stick function.
Can we please stick
Sticks.
to the game?
Wait, where did Beth go?
On there.
Where did Beth go? Beth just DC. Oh, there's Beth.
Beth reconnected.
Where did they go?
Alright, so Iris, as your stick, has now a firm dart planted to it as you are talking to Vullis. What would you like to do?
Who does have healing hands or something on? I just need to make sure this guy is alive.
Cloud.
Find out
bad.
IRP.
There are 2 people in this party who have healing spells.
Both of them are users of
Ah.
instruments. I wonder if you can figure it out.
Clyde, get up! You guys are approach him with 2 sticks.
I'm sorry to pause this, but I'm just thinking everyone's not on their A game. First, it was fucking with the dark vision. Now it's Iris with the healing. What is next?
Next time, we're gonna need someone strong. Rowan, get over here.
We're gonna need someone strong. Pick the person with the lowest strength.
Specifically asks everybody for their strength scores.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I need to take out the dog.
Lower is better, right?
We need someone who's great at magic. Clyde, get your hands over here.
Clyde, at that point, ask Nerem.
No, Clyde knows magic.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Who said he was good at magic?
Who said you were good at magic?
I'm not.
Barbarian magic.
Barbarian magic. I cast Fist.
Cast fist muscle wizard.
Yes.
Muscle wizard.
Mm. Mm.
That's pretty much war magic, isn't it?
Kind of. I mean, that's
Technically,
basically smite.
I can't get
Well-
over muscle wizard though.
War magic is flexing as you cast, so you can block all the damage.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes.
Oh, why did you?
evocation
Why did you
elements
put the
are
idea
bonus
in my
effects
head
time.
of making a freaking level like a level 20 wizard who's a warcaster who has fucking 20 strength, 20
Yes.
con, and like 8 intelligence? Just
I'm
goes
so-
around flexing.
Muscle.
His abilities are
Comic
literal
swole.
flex.
Yes.
Commit swole.
Yep.
Bro, why you gotta flex on me like that?
Why not?
Oh my god.
They have proficiency in intimidation.
They have proficiency in athletics. They just fucking drop a like rock on you. See, I casted a spell. I cast catapult. Just chucks a rock.
Who needs catapult when you got muscle?
They're the Chads
Yeah,
in the
that's-
gym that drop the bar.
That's
as
the
loud
song.
as possible.
I hate those people. Fucking hate those people with a passion.
What people?
Alright.
Chads.
Oh.
Nonetheless,
Anyways, picking up where we left off.
what are you guys doing?
Well, not everyone's
Okay,
awake,
so-
so.
Who else are you waking up?
Yeah, because
Iris?
there are I think actually 4 people now that I think about it. There are 4 people who can actually use heals.
And you have woken pretty much all of them up. As Rowan is grumbling
Well, I
awake, like, what the fuck did you wake me up?
Ryoka's getting up to retrieve her dart.
No, this is my dart. Fuck you.
I'm gonna fight
Use
you
your
for the
returning
fucking dart.
You should have used your returning dart.
As you walk over for the dart, I was like, no, you hit my steak.
I am compensating.
Ryoka's about to throw some fucking hands right now.
I am confiscating this.
You can get it back in the morning when you're not cranky.
No, I want my dart now, bitch.
No.
And can Wallace just throw his half of the stick at Ryoka?
I fucking
Oh
swear
my
this campaign is turning into a shit post.
Turning into a shit post. It always has been, dude.
There's days where we can roleplay and be serious, but this session not so much.
I
Nah.
had spent like hours on like working on Zorom's backstory, making him serious, and then there's like we get into the actual roleplay element, and it's just chaos.
You guys
And
are the
Wallace is
definition of that Warhammer 40k thing. Sanity is for the weak.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh
Oh
my-
my god, skull.
Grape,
Skull
At one
throat.
point, we need to set up an all-orc Warhammer campaign.
Yes.
We one day
have it.
we need to set up a just all dwarf D&D.
That's the same
Don't
thing,
talk
but
to my
in
brother.
D&D.
Brother, oh my brother, oh my brother, oh my brother, oh his brother, and my sister.
Wait, she has a beard too.
Yeah, so
So
what?
what are you talking about?
Alright.
It's just more intricately braided.
As the rest of the party is awoken by the commotion. Oh, we have Hoobie snorting. That means it's good.
You know, much like Topaz
sorry.
meowing,
My chest hurts.
I'm considering Zoram snorting every time they
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing the Lord of the Rings scene where they're talking about the dwarf women.
Oh my god, dude.
Yes.
At this point, I might as well change the category to just chatting. We're not playing Dungeons and Dragons anymore.
I don't know what the fuck we're playing anymore.
Anyways, let's
Okay, let's go.
Trying
bring
to
it
keep
back.
you guys on track, but you guys keep putting more
Right.
memes out there. And I'm
Any-
trying to get
Anyways,
Let's get back on track.
anyways, he kind of looks to like Iris after throwing the stick. So why the hell did you wake us all up? Exactly.
Because this old man fell and I don't know if he's dead or alive.
Did you decide to check his pulse?
Can I put money on him being dead?
I did not check his pulse, but that's what I have you for!
He went into cardiac arrest.
How hard is it to put your hand on his?
Ryoko
everybody
walks
knows the
over
pulse.
to put her hand on his wrist. I don't feel
make me a
anything.
medicine check.
Watch me fail.
If you're rolling that one on this.
Yo, he dead.
I have
Natural
I have a +4, but I hope I roll a 1.
one. Rolls a natural one. Yo, he dead.
No, I rolled a 19. So
Aw.
it's a 23.
Putting your hands over this guy's wrist. There's a heartbeat. Yeah. He's still breathing.
I'm just picturing like you rolled a
Damn it!
20 and then he's just like, yo, he
Shit.
dead.
What do you mean, damn it?
Anyways,
He's alive.
Yeah, so what? We didn't bet for anything.
I wanted to.
yeah, and you would have lost stuff. Anyways, what are we gonna do with them? I guess one of the bards can just try to heal them.
I
He
don't know.
just
He was
looks
burying
tired.
bodies.
Yeah, I was about
and
to
then
say
he
maybe
said
they
he-
just need a maybe they
Maybe
just need
just
sleep.
let him sleep for a little bit. He doesn't look like he has wounds on him. He's like saying, taking the moment to stand up and just walking over to the body or the man and just like examining him a moment to see if there's actual wounds on him.
Are you gonna take the clerical robes that he has off?
He's gonna like move them aside to just like kind of glance around. So yeah.
Okay. You open it up, and it's almost like peeling open some sort of old, or you know how when you put a band-aid over a scab and you peel it open early, and it just kind of like the plasma and the blood just kind of sticks to the band-aid and it looks disgusting.
Bleh.
That's essentially what happens. You peel open the tunic, and it's essentially stuck to his torso. And as you open it up, even without doing anything without knowledge, this guy should be rightly dead. Just the kind of wounds he has, he should be dead. But he's sitting there, he's breathing, he has a heartbeat, and he's alive.
That is fantastically
Uh,
gross.
he kind of takes a moment to blink and then looks to I'm assuming Clyde and Niram. Like, can either of you just cast your healing hands on them?
What?
He looks over near him, he looks at you.
He
Niram,
doesn't remember which one.
Near him, can you cast healing hands on this man?
Huh?
Near him,
What?
you look at your hands and be like, I can cast fist.
I can cast hurting hands if you want to. The
Can
healing
you
hands?
cast
Nah.
Turning hands.
Like, I just woke. Just someone heal this man before he just bleeds himself out. He says before like moving his hand back. He's just interested in going back to sleep.
Ryoka pokes the cheek of the man
Oh my god.
very lightly.
No, just swats her hand away at this point.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna just walk over, cast Cure Wounds on the man.
I am back.
Welcome
Because
back.
no one else is seeming to want to heal this man. So I was just gonna go over and heal this man.
So, just to reiterate what you missed another big brain moment.
You call that big brain?
Yes,
Someone looked
ironically.
over at Niram and Clyde and said, hey, Niram, can you cast healing hands on this guy?
I call that severely disabled brain moment.
I call that tired moment because, hell, I think like half of us are just sleep deprived.
Well, the only
So-
people who really got a full
okay.
rest would be the half-elves, because they only needed a trance.
Oh, I
Okay,
was talking
so-
out of character, but hey, I guess it works in character as well.
So he gets I'm not sure. Okay, so I have a weird thing here. Whenever I heal someone, I also add my intelligence.
Mhm. This is what
like-
what you do as a tinkerer, whereas your
Yeah. But also on Cure Wounds, it says 1d8 plus my spell casting ability.
yes, which is
so-
your wisdom.
No, it is my
Oh,
intelligence.
your intelligence.
So you just-
Okay, like the wizard. Yeah. So go ahead, use your intelligence.
Okay, because I'm kind of confused if I do it twice, add it twice because
No.
of the thing.
It is just your spell casting modifier. So it is a D8 plus the spell level plus your
Okay, so
plus the spell level additional die if it is at a higher level.
okay, so that would be just 10 health back.
10. All right. So as you go over and cast, and your hands glow this eerie, warmish orange, and they kind of infuse into this man's chest, and you see as the wound starts sealing up, and some of the goo starts kind of almost peeling away as the spell's magic seems to start cleaning the wound. Um, the wounds that you see here all look to be, from what you can tell, either some sort of sword or some sort of a either knife or arrow. You're not sure.
So
You can't
something
really tell.
heavy.
There's just on him there looks to be roughly about, on his chest alone, maybe about 32 stab wounds.
20 stab
Precise,
wounds.
No,
precisely how
30.
I want to die.
About 32. I said 32.
Well, I'm probably gonna lower that to 28. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Most of them get healed and pretty much sealed up, but they are visible. They're not bleeding as much anymore, but they're healed.
He's not dying anymore, right? Like he's
From what you can
clearly just
tell,
not dying.
make me a medicine check.
What is my medicine? Hold on. I'm not sure if I have proficiency in medicine. I don't, but so that would be 15.
15. From what you can tell, this guy never was dying.
He just seemed like he was in a real rough shape.
It seems like he was in some sort of a very rough state. He never seemed like he was dying.
He's probably some sort of level 20 wizard. That's the only reason why he's not dead.
Level 20 muscle wizard.
Oh my god.
He could
This
also
This
Anyway.
guy,
be a list.
as you're looking at him, he's pretty much skin and bone. There's no real strength to him.
So illusion. So is there any insignia on him?
Make me an investigation check.
Also, Hubi, are you trying to gaslight Grape into making this dude buff as fuck?
Maybe.
Muscle wizard.
Muscle
There
wizard.
are muscle wizards elsewhere on this continent, but not here.
We must find the muscle wizards.
I would like to have a very intimate relationship with a muscle wizard.
No.
Oh my
If you
god.
want an intimate
That's a 24.
relationship, just
By
go
the
back
way,
to
that's
the
a
bathhouse.
24.
4. All right.
And I-
Looking over this body of the man, there's no insignia. There's no marks. Actually, there is one mark. As you almost thought it was some sort of a stab wound, but you go back over it. It looks like it's an old claw wound, like you got slashed on, like through the chest by some sort of large wolf. And the mark itself lies underneath all of the wounds. You wouldn't have been able to see it if the wounds were still bleeding. But it is old, maybe like 4 to 5 years old. It's an old scar.
Well, I guess Zone's gonna just leave him and go back to sleep.
Okay.
Ryoka's gonna
Leave whoever's in charge of the watch to go.
So, Zoram, you head off back to bed. Clyde turns, or not Clyde, but Rowan rolls over, tries to sleep once more. Clyde, you're still there, just watching everything, till eventually you're like,
Clyde's just gonna go back to sleep. They didn't bother to wake him up for his watch.
You go over and just roll back into your side, and as you shut your eyes, you're immediately met with the sleeping sensation that is your trance.
Good.
The rest of you, however, Ryoka, you watch as it goes on. You see as Zoram goes over the body and kind of traces out what looks to be a large claw mark to the chest of this individual, and then walks away, and then kind of rolls over onto his bed and just stand there. Zoram, you're still there and awake. Or not Zoram. Niram, you're still awake. And Iris, you are as well. As everybody else is slowly starting to find their way to sleep once again.
Is there anything, like, do we recognize any movement around us? At this point, like, Niram is just trying to distract himself from what was going on before by just focusing on his watch.
Okay. Trying to distract yourself from just what happened and looking over the body. You kind of look at the claw marks and kind of look at your own hand. They seem to be similar. And then you just kind of shrug it off as you continue on your watch.
All right. Does anything else happen during the watch? Any movement?
It's
Nothing?
quiet.
All right. So, if nothing else happens at the end of the watch, he's going to wake up. Was it Zoram?
Yep.
Well, if he isn't still awake, that is.
Well, Zoram fell back to sleep. He went back to sleep.
Yeah, as soon as the guard.
Zoram, you are eventually shaken awake the next 3.5 hours later.
All right. Time for your watch. I need some sleep.
He's gonna take watch. He's gonna keep an eye on the cleric as well, or the old man. And
The old man is unconscious. He's just completely unconscious. He's not moving. He seems to be completely asleep. His wounds actually look to be healing, which is weird. Like they're healing almost at an accelerated pace.
This man is a literal god. We just haven't realized it yet.
Or a vampire.
so
That
so there wasn't any religious sigil on him, right? Any like
Nope,
symbols
none
or
at all.
anything like that? Okay.
None. He might be wearing a cleric's robes, but they don't seem to belong to him.
Okay. Looking over him, does anything seem not normal or unusual, other than like the claw marks or anything like that?
Make me an insight check.
What is my insight? So that is a 19.
There are a few weird things that kind of point out to you. The man's hands are absurdly large. They're not big by any means, but they're long. The fingers that kind of come out of the hands look to be almost elongated as well. Uh, Large feet and seem to just be large pads. Uh, there's a lot of hair to his body as well.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
You see that kind of around the chest area, kind of reaching up under the shoulders, is exceptionally hairy, and then down towards the sides, near the hips, and towards where his ass would be is hairy as well.
I'm scared.
Fucking hell.
It's a new moon. I made sure you guys knew that.
Okay. Would he know anything about this?
Let's see. Make me an intelligence check at disadvantage.
Just gonna roll 2d20s. Plickety plackety.
You're about to get attacked.
They're both the same number. Sorry,
Let
I'm
me
just
guess.
doing
The
the
total
math.
is weighted dice.
6. No, I can't. No, I can't math. It's 5. So, 22.
Yeah, the total is weighted dice. Nothing really sticks out to you here. I mean, you're not exactly a studier of humans. You are a practitioner of magic, yes, but you haven't really had any human contact for a great many years. You don't exactly know what might afflict him, if anything. He just seems to be a normal human man that seems to have been gifted with extra hair.
He's gonna keep an eye on him, though. Because it does seem pretty unnatural that he would be healing that fast without any magical help. And yeah, he's just gonna kind of be on watch, but also keeping a close eye on him.
As your watch goes through, go ahead and make me a perception check.
What is perception? It's +5, so that's a 19.
The course of the morning, as the sun starts to rise, as you're watching him, one something does catch your eye. About the fourth pile down, one of these pyres, uh, the bodies there aren't armored. They're just bodies that are stacked on top of each other. And you see the roasted flesh and bone that seem to be charred and pretty much burnt crisp. Mm. They lay out there, and as the morning sun catches them, um, they do. mm, You think you see something odd about them, but you're not sure.
Am I able to investigate what I saw?
Sure, if you want to leave the camp.
How light is it? What like how bright is
It's
it outside?
Well, the sun is just rising, so there's no real tree cover here. There's only tall grass, and you're on the top of a ridgeline. So since the sun is just rising, it's pretty bright out, actually. It's pretty bright.
Um, and what was kind of like I just thought I saw movement or something.
It's, something doesn't seem right about them to you.
He's gonna take note of that and keep an eye out just in case. But he's gonna wait for the party to wake up before mentioning his kind of thoughts on it.
The rest of you eventually waking up naturally instead of being forced awake.
Ha, losers.
You find yourselves stretching and yawning as the morning takes you. The morning sun greets you as well, and it's bright. You can take the time and munch on some of your rations to make sure you guys are fed for the day. And as this goes on, you see Zoram waiting off to the side. He looks like he's having almost a 1,000-yard stare, but he's actually looking at something.
Marioka gets up, stretches, and wanders over to try and investigate what he's seeing.
You walk over to Zoram, you kind of follow his eyes, and you see down about 80 feet past the third pyre, you see what looks to be another pyre of corpses. Just corpses, no armor, weapons, nothing. Just charred and burnt flesh and bone. And it sticks out as the morning sun catches what's left of some of the unburnt bone. And it just, something about it doesn't look right.
Marioka squints her eyes, trying to figure out what doesn't seem right.
Make me a perception check.
That's a D12, not a D20. Is not great. It's 11.
11. Well, it seems to be a pile of bones. Something's telling you there's something wrong about it, but you're not sure what entirely that means.
How far is it from our camp?
I'd say roughly about 480 feet.
Okay, so it would take that long to get there. We should probably take a look at that for a moment. Although there's also the old man there we'll have to keep an eye on. So I think some of us should take a look at that pile, and some of us should watch him just in case he wakes up. Hello?
It's all right. Well, who's gonna do it?
Just trying to make sure that the rest of the party heard.
Yeah.
Are we going over there?
So who wants to stay with the old man, and who wants to go down with me to investigate?
I want to go down.
I
I'll
suppose
stay with the old man.
Naram's gonna stay at the camp.
I'll stay at the camp as well.
Keep an eye on him. He seems to heal really fast.
Will do.
Keeping an eye on the old man, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Oh god.
Perception's wisdom, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I would like to assist with that.
Roll with
Well,
advantage.
it's everyone who is watching, isn't it?
Yes.
So 14.
14 as well.
14. He seems to lay there, and you actually witness it firsthand. You actually see as the body, the wounds that were once there the previous night are pretty much almost already healed. And you
Damn.
see as the last stitchings of flesh are being like, almost sealed as you were watching him.
Fun.
A part of me feels like this dude is some kind of necromancer or lich, but like
I know.
No,
out of
we're-
character.
Out of
we're-
character, I
character.
know exactly what he is.
Yeah,
I
same.
think it's a werewolf. I'm not sure. Might be something
That's
else.
exactly what I was thinking.
Anyways, yeah. Back to the game. Heading out of meta.
So who is heading over to this pile of corpses?
Zoram is.
Zoram and Ryoka.
All right. Heading over to this pile of corpses of bone and flesh. It takes you a while, but you eventually get up there. And looking over these corpses, most of the flesh is burned and kind of melded together. And the flesh is smelling of rotten and burned pork. And as you look at the bone, make me an investigation check, because some of it looks to be hidden underneath the flesh. And you pretty much need to move the flesh out of the way to get a look at some of the bone.
Both of us?
Or one of you roll at advantage, and the other one, or make 2 separate checks.
Who be roll at advantage? I'm just gonna help.
Okay. So that is a natural 20 plus 5.
Searching through the flesh, you finally find the one thing that was kind of sticking out to you, what finally seemed to have been nagging at you that was wrong with this pile of bone. Looking through it, you find what looks to almost be a wolf's skull, but enlarged. It's roughly about maybe 2 to 3 inches bigger than a normal human skull. The face is elongated with a snout, and the teeth seem to have grown in at rather odd angles, but they're very sharp and look to be hunter's teeth. You see connecting to the head as you kind of keep moving the flesh away, as your hand parts more and more of this bloody mess that seems to have been seared together. The skull itself is attached to a body. The body seems to have been some sort of human, possibly. The bones themselves seem to have been contorted, and as you try and like touch them and press them, they aren't brittle like a burnt bone should be. They're almost like iron. And you start trying to reach in, as you try and like even trying to snap the bone, you can't. It's until you finally apply enough strength that it finally snaps off. And it looks like human bone, but it's not. You see, linking down the arms and legs of this, you find uh, pretty much the same thing you found on the other man, but different. You see that the hands have been elongated, but at the end of them aren't fingertips, they're claws. It seems to have naturally pushed out of the bone. You see out of the feet look to almost be not human feet, but a wolf's paws that seem to have elongated and allowed for almost like a striding gait if this creature were to stand on 2 legs. There is no flesh left to this. Most of it seems to have been burned, as this corpse looks to be near the center of the fire. But that's what you find.
Hey Ryoka, you might want to take a look at this.
Ryoka moves over to see what he's looking at.
You find this, what I have just explained to you.
Does she have any idea what it is?
Make me a history check at disadvantage.
What do we have in history? +1. That's gonna be great. 16 and 16, so 17.
17. Some sort of. I mean, you've heard child or children's tales of like it's. You've heard of wolf men, bear men, like men that have turned into animals. But those are children's tales or some sort of fey-like magic or something like that. You don't really know. Looks like it might be real.
Ryoka's like, it can't be real. It's just from stories.
Well, considering this thing is here, and I don't know, I think it's pretty much whatever you're thinking is real. It might be real. I don't know.
Wolfmen?
Honestly, wouldn't be the craziest thing I would have heard of.
Yeah. First things first, what the hell happened here? Why are they all burned? Why did that old man say that he did it?
As you look over, pretty much further to your south, now that there's like sunlight, and you can see it over this ridgeline, you see roughly about maybe a quarter of a day's walk. Looks to be a hamlet that's been completely burned asunder. The small stone fortress that once seemed to have been sitting there looks to have been collapsed and burned down. You see there are multiple huge gaping tears in the stone walls, seems something broke into it or broke out of it. You can't tell from here. But you see the walls that seem to be a wooden and stone palisade that round it look to have been broken and shattered in places. The buildings that lay around look to be maybe 2 to 3 temples, look to have been almost as if someone had gone out of their way to deface and destroy as much as they could. But you're not sure, unless you got a closer look, you don't know what's going on down there.
I feel like
And
we
as
should.
you look closer down to the edge of where the ridge meets into the plain that continues on to this hamlet, you see looks to be a large mass grave that is currently being filled, but has since stopped because the filler has since been knocked unconscious.
I feel like we should show the rest of the party this. Is it possible for me to drag the skeleton?
Ryoka would help them drag the skeleton, but firstly, she's gonna look at him and be like, is this what we were sent to look for?
No, we're here to find. We're heading towards a city to find out why the city hasn't helped Port Ivy. But for now, I think it'd be important for our party to know what's out here.
Alright. Then let's go.
So we're going to. I guess we're attempting to drag the skeletal remains of this creature back to the party.
Grab it to start pulling it out. It's a bit difficult as some of the bone is still seared into some of the flesh that has melted over onto it. And as you pull it out, you see the rest of the skeletons kind of clatter to the ground with their musical bones just kind of rattling over. And as you drag it back to the party, the rest of you are starting to awaken as you see coming towards you at a relatively slow pace looks to be Zoram and Ryoka dragging a skeletal corpse.
You all need to see this.
What? You have a
Okay,
dog or
this-
something?
Zoram is going to drop the skeletal remains of the wolfman in front.
You drop them down. Niram, looking at this thing would be taller than you. And bigger, too.
That's
And that's just from the bones.
it's pretty large. What was that?
Wolfman, I think.
Okay. Wolfman.
I don't know. I just remembered stories from the monastery.
Out of curiosity, would the claw marks that was on the man's chest match what was on match the claws of this thing?
Make me an intelligence check.
Come on, caramel blueberry. That is a math 18.
They look pretty similar, yeah.
I think we should probably ask this old man about this thing. He might know something about this.
Think he's awake.
He is not awake. He is still very much unconscious.
Ryoka's gonna poke him.
When you poke, he's still unconscious.
Does this seem like some sort of injury-induced unconsciousness, or like him trying to heal or something like that? Like the body's just trying to recover kind of idea?
From what you could tell, this guy, when he was found, might have been awake for a solid 8 days. And that's just from how exhausted he looked.
Is there what does everyone else think we should do? Because I don't know if we have the ability, we have the time to be waiting for him to awaken.
Yeah, we should maybe just go. Seems pretty safe around here.
The pile of corpses and this creature, I would say otherwise. But
I mean, he was burying them. Would you take the time and bury something if you knew that you weren't in a safe area?
some people do crazy things.
He did say that he was the one that burned all of them.
So yeah, he'll be perfectly fine. He was doing this before and he didn't die yet, so, you know.
Let's get moving then.
Where are you guys heading?
What about the old man? What are we doing? Are we leaving him?
I assume he'll be fine.
Maybe at some point we should try making our way back down this way, check on him, see if he's awake.
Yeah, maybe when we return to Port Ivy.
But that might be wise. Shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
You guys seeming to have found the sanctuary of Clayrose, seeing it desolate, turning yourselves around and starting to walk back towards the city of Port Ivy, leaving the old man there, just sleeping on the open dirt road.
Can we like make him like a tiny little shelter so in case it rains, it doesn't like rain on him or something? Just like a stick and like some cloth. Like one of those little tent things that like Cusco had in like the Emperor's New Groove. I mean not
Um,
Cusco, Krunk.
sure, you could do it.
Alright, Clyde's gonna do that.
Using the clerical robes the guy has, you set him up with a small um, tent-like fixture that the likes of Kronk would be proud of.
Good.
And he lays underneath it, asleep still.
Gonna pat him on the head and then move on.
Over, you pat his head. No reaction, but you move along. As you move along, the rest of you, it's irksome, but you keep looking over now to your east again, and the clouds. It you keep getting pulled over because there's not a cloud in sight, not at all, until you look to your east, and you see that this large lake-like pattern has grown into the sky, and you see that the clouds above seem to almost rim it out, becoming the shoreline to this lake, as the sky seems to wave outward and then inward, crashing against these clouds and then receding back in. And you almost see as if it's becoming a storm. Something is upsetting as you see the waves of the sky are starting to kind of toil and toss and turn. Yet the clouds don't move. And you continue passing by.
Spooky.
What are you guys doing?
Does this seem like a magically induced one? Like a
Make an
magically
Arcana
induced
check.
storm. And +8, that would be a 23.
This is definitely magic. This is a high level of magic.
I kind of relay this back to the party that like someone's using very high tier magic here, and that this storm is not natural.
From the look of it, it is very obvious it's not natural, but so, what are the rest of you doing as this march is continuing?
I suppose just eyes on the road and straight ahead. Off to
I
Clayrose.
guess Zorn is just gonna keep an eye out for any other magical bullcrap.
All right. So, ignoring it and continuing on. I will say, for the sake of brevity, Those of you who will be helming this expedition, go ahead and make me your perception checks to make sure the road is clear and safe and you guys don't get ambushed. And then, as it gets to night, I will have you guys go ahead and make your checks, and we will continue moving.
Let's do it.
Who's leading? Because
Who would like to
17.
helm this
I
expedition?
guess I'll help. Whoever's helming, I'll help.
I'll helmet. I got a 17.
Okay. So, looking over this, nothing pops out at you. However, it seems that there is a bat, and it's weird because as it's flying through, it's weird. It's almost the middle of the day, and there's a bat that's flying.
I'd like to charm the bat so it would stop following us with my French horn playing.
Make me a charisma check,
What?
and then follow it up with an animal handling check.
All right.
I was gonna ask if this bat is actually
Charisma
is
is
an
a
actual
nat
bat.
20 with a
Right.
+4,
Shit.
and then animal handling is an 8.
8. So you pretty much play like almost like the saxophone solo to the opening of like Grey's Anatomy, and you see the bat just kind of looks at you confused as you look over to it and start playing it a bit, almost like you're trying to swoon it over. The bat just looks confused and flies off anyway.
Good.
I
What
would.
the?
I just have this mental image of the bat just flying, and then the music starts playing, and the bat just starts like going all over the place, like it starts flying drunkenly, kind of idea, like it just ate fermented apples.
I just legit had the mental image of this bat is just minding its own business. Suddenly, Clyde just starts seductively playing the fucking French horn. It looks at it, just goes, I'm not dealing with this, and just flies away.
I've heard a lot of shit in my life. This is something I don't want to deal with.
I've had to deal with too many bards in my day. I don't want to take my chances.
I've been burned. I'm not letting that happen again.
Secretly, that bat is actually like a black dragon.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Here's the thing, Clyde isn't like the normal bard. He's not gonna go after the dragon, if you know what I mean.
I think we all know what you mean.
Ha, ha, ha.
You say this now.
No, we have a
No.
second bot for that.
As night falls,
I'm sorry.
When the DM is sick of your crap.
you guys camp for the night. Go ahead and make me roll, or go ahead and roll your perception checks, those of you who are doing the watches.
Clyde's gonna go to bed tonight.
Naram's gonna take first watch so he can hopefully just sleep. So yeah, anyone else with me on the first watch, or is it just Naram on his own?
It's just near him.
Alright.
You know
I
what,
could do it
screw
with you.
Oh.
Okay.
You have 2 volunteers. You can take both, or you can take one.
I think I'm just gonna, like, Naram's just gonna say, Clyde, you need some sleep.
I'm going to swoon a bat.
Clyde needs sleep. Clyde was asleep for most of the other night.
What do you mean they were asleep for most of the other night? No, they got woken up as well. Also, it's kind of just penance for Iris, since she did. Like, it's just choosing her based on, you know what? You can also take watch if you want to wake up everyone anyway. Might as well. Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20. That's also just a 20.
As you are looking over to
Clyde
the
got a 16.
Okay, 16. Both of you do see this. Over to the east, you just can't take your eyes off of it. But it's easy to ignore for you, Niram. You don't know why.
Lasagna?
But the rest of you, as you look over, you see pretty much in the same direction you had seen where the sky had turned into a lake. You see strange lights. It seemed to almost be soft, yellow, pale lights that just
What I just
float in the sky and then disappear after falling too far and then reappear back again in the sky.
Yeah, what was in those rations?
I don't know, but apparently we're now stuck in Evangelion.
Tasty.
God, that intro song is so good.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, other than that, like, no immediate danger, right?
None at all.
Alright, as soon as the watch is over, he's going to, wake up the next people who want to take the second watch.
Second watch.
I don't know who said that they were doing second watch because I thought someone said that they were.
You know what? Screw it. Clyde will stay up for second watch and then wake someone up for third watch.
All right. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Wait, what do you mean stay awake? Clyde was asleep.
17. No, Clyde was awake.
Okay.
Why, you two are captivated by these lights in the sky. And it's during your watch you actually hear what sounds like a howl off in the distance.
Oh,
Ruh-roh,
No.
Reggie.
The
Uh-oh.
rest of your watch goes smoothly with no incidents nor any motion that seemed to intrude upon your awareness.
that's good.
Third watch, morning watch.
Yes, Zorn will.
Okay, Zorm, is you again your natural clock waking you up a bit early. You grumble about.
That is a 23.
3. As morning dawns and you look about, it's calm, quiet. It's unusual.
Clyde's gonna go over and just wake up Ryoka and be like, yo, it's your turn for watch.
But I didn't watch last night.
And I just stayed up for 2 shifts. Get up.
Why?
Because I said so.
She gets up.
Up, come on, let's go. Rise
She-
and shine.
She looks angry and looks like she might be about to smack you.
He'd
Okay,
take
thought
you
Zorn
are
was
still
doing-
thus awakened.
I thought Zorn
he'd
was.
take a few steps back and still be like, come on, time to get up.
She withdraws a dart.
Oh my
Oh, no.
god.
She's like, I'm up! Shut the fuck up.
Alright, you'd like back away very slowly as if not to anger her more.
She replaces the dart where it belongs.
Replacing the dart, and you are now awake for the third watch. Or, yeah, you're awakened as Clyde's heading to bed, and you are awakened and you take your watch with Zoram. Early in the morning, you're looking over. The sky is still formed off in the distance, as if something has changed about it. And honestly, what was once captivating is now losing its beauty. But it still remains strong. The clouds above are still nowhere in sight. Except off to the east. And take no real heed of it. Eventually, everybody wakes up naturally, and you continue upon your paths. upon just about 8 to 8:45 in the evening, you manage to make it back to the city of Port Ivy. The guards to the front gate recognize you somewhat, but they still stop you. How there, how there. State your business to the city. Make yourselves known.
Wait a second, did we ever reach Clayrose? Or did I just absolutely blank on that part? I'm sorry.
I wonder what the giant smoking building is.
Oh, yeah, no,
Hmm.
I completely blanked. I'm sorry. I got freaking caught in the middle of this. I didn't want to interrupt anything.
By all means, it's all right.
We're just giving you a
But-
hard time.
yeah. But as Nero's like, wait a minute, did we visit the sanctuary? And you see him panic for a
Wait a
second.
minute.
And the
Haven't
guard
gone
look
for that long.
confused and concerned.
looks at his wrist, like as if watches existed. Wait a minute, we've been going for what, 3 hours? Just like completely messed up his freaking perception of time.
And the guards just look very concerned and confused. All right, who's your friend and why is he so jumpy?
Long trip. We were sent to find a place, and yeah, let's just say that that place is burned down, and that's why the city had no help.
All right, first of all, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Second of all, I asked you for what you're doing here.
We're coming back to tell you what happened.
No, this is
We were sent out with a mission from the Baron before he passed.
Mission for the Baron. He goes over and leans over to one of the other guards. Send it on around. After about an hour of eventually the runner does come back. Guard. All right, you're free to go. Head inside. And without another word, you guys are pretty much like driven inside the city, and the rest of the people are kind of like, "Ah," and you hear complaints from the back. They did not have to pay their toll. What about us? Your guards, stuff it.
Iris looks back at them and goes, "We have a mission. And how do you know that we didn't pay anything? For all you know, we're doing it later." She winked and then walked off.
Just see the merchant that you turn to say that to looks to be just kind of fuming as you kind of goad him. Heading inside the city as the gate doesn't close behind you, but the guards you kind of shuffle and form a human wall. And as you step back into the city, still smelling of smoke and ash, but being repaired, you see the famous site of the Tower of Soon is still being repaired, but you still see it as a very prominent, almost white and black pencil that still towers into the city and almost reminiscent of what the city looked like before it was attacked. As you make your way through the city, we'll go ahead and call ourselves there as time is just about up, and I don't want to, in case you guys have made plans, I don't want to hold you back any further. But, nonetheless, as we call it there, I will go ahead and do our final little finishing touches. Ahem. For those of you in the stream, even though I can't really see you, or sadly we cannot hear you, we are more than happy to have you come out and join us today. If you're looking forward to more of this antics, bullshit, or even tomfoolery, because we do a little trolling, you can come on by, and we normally do this about every... We do this about every Saturday, roughly about 2 to 2:30, East Coast. On the West, you're looking about 12 to 11. If you are in Europe or one of our European friends, that would be 8 o'clock German Standard, I believe.
Central
then you
European
have-
time. Close enough, though.
German Standard. Then you have, I believe, 7 for those in Spain. The rest of you, It should be much later in the evening, so if you can make it out, we'd appreciate it. But nonetheless, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one if you decide to come and bless us with your presence. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye. Love how.
All right. And now for a few small words from me. Thanks very much for sticking around. I do really appreciate that people are coming out to these streams. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but however many of you there are, it's fun to see that people enjoy this kind of stuff, especially all the memery. Today was just chock full of it. But yeah, other than that, if nothing goes wrong, expect another session next week, Saturday, as Grape already said. And yeah, other than that, like, expect another stream of Bloodstained, probably. And be on the lookout for maybe some other RPGs as well. How that's gonna go, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for coming out, and yeah, stay safe.